Good morning, dear students. Hope you are all well. Today we are going to discuss a new chapter of our novel David Copperfield. It's chapter 12. We are going to discuss it through some main points as following. Number 1. Trotwood and Biggit's visit to David. Miss Trotwood had lost all her money and all her possessions, so she decided to go to London to visit David and tell him about that. Number 2. Trotwood knows about the engagement of David to Dora and she refuses it. So number 2, Trotwood's objection to David's engagement to Dora. Number 3, Trotwood's meeting with Agnes. Agnes and Miss Betsy Trotwood had a good relationship. She always loved Agnes and that's why she felt so happy to meet her again in London, and she has told Agnes about her loss. Number 4. David planned to get extra money after knowing about his aunt's loss of money. He decides to prove to her that he was a responsible man and his engagement to Dora was real. So he decided to work as a new reporter, and he also decided to work for Dr. Strong after Agnes had told him that Dr. Strong had closed his law school or his school to write a new book. Number 5. Heap's full control over Mr. Wickfield. As we had already known, Mr. Wickfield lost all control of Uriah Heep, and now Uriah Heep is a main partner with Mr. Wickfield. Number 6. Trotwood's firmness with Heep. Aunt Betsy Trotwood doesn't like Uriah Heep, especially after seeing how he controls over Mr. Wickfield. Number 7. David starts a new life and works with Dr. Strong in writing his book. As we had already known, Agnes told David Copperfield that Dr. Strong is going to write a book and she advised him to go to help him there. Number 8. David proves his love to Dora by hard work. Now, David proves that he is a responsible man for Aunt Betsy Trotwood. Number 9. Micawber, as always, is in trouble. Oh, Mr. Micawber used to get money from other people and he always got so many debts. Number 10. Micawber and Heap's cooperation. Uriah Heep offered the job to Mr. Micawber, so now Mr. Micawber decides to leave to Canterbury to work for Uriah Heep. But is it real? Would he really help Uriah Heep, or is it just a trick? That's what we are going to figure out later. Number 11. David's insistence on becoming a reporter. David insists to become a reporter as well as helping Dr. Strong in writing his book. So, David now would be a reporter with the help of his dear friend Tommy Traddles. Number 12. Miss Murdstone reveals David and Dora's secret to Mr. Spillow. As always, Miss Murdstone used to destroy David's life. Now she does the same again. She told Mr. Spillow about the love between David and Dora. Mr. Spillow insists on taking all the letters between David and Dora back, but David doesn't want to give all the letters from Dora to him, to Mr. Spillow. Number 13. Mr. Spillow's refusal to the marriage between David and Dora. Number 14. Oh, it's a shock for us. After Mr. Spillow had refused the marriage of David and Dora, now he dies. What would happen to Dora? Would she live alone? Would she live with Miss Murdstone? Or does she have other relatives? That's what we are going to figure out in the next chapter. Now, let's move to the second section of this lesson. It's poetry. We are going to discuss the second poem for this term. It's called Leisure, which means free time. It's written by our poet, William Henry Davies. What does it say? It's shown in the following lines. What is this life if, full of care, we have no time to stand and stare, no time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows, no time to see when woods we pass where squirrels hide their nuts in grass. No time to see in broad daylight, streams full of stars like skies at night. No time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet, how they can dance. No time to wait till her mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. A poor life this full of care. We have no time to stand and stare. What about the figures of speech of leisure? The figures of speech are the following. Number 1, alliteration in stand, stare. The S sound is repeated to give music and assure the meaning. Alliteration in when, woulds, we. The W sound is repeated to give music and assure the meaning. We have a repetition in no time. It's repeated more than once to give music and assure the meaning. We also have an order in when, woulds, we pass to give music and assure the meaning. We have assembly in the following line. Streams full of stars like skies at night. Here, the poet describes the streams as the skies which are full of stars at night. We have a personification in the following lines. No time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet how they can dance. No time to wait till her mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. Here, the poet personifies the nature as a beautiful woman who has feet and can dance, who has mouth and can smile, and who has eyes and can look. And we also have at the end of this poem a repetition in we have no time to stand and stare. It's repeated to give music and assure the meaning. What about the paraphrase of this poem? It's as the following. Here in this poem, the poet starts his poem by complaining about modern life. It's a dull life, full of hardships and worry. Everyone is busy and we have no time to enjoy the beauty of nature. Animals are better than man in the way that, unlike man, they are free and enjoy everything around them. In our rush, we have no time to enjoy watching the squirrels playing and storing their food. We don't pay attention to streams, flowers, and everything else in nature. Finally, the poet declares that we live a very gloomy and poor life. If in our busy life we fail to enjoy the beauty of nature, we will have a poor life. We must find time to look at all the wonders God has created around us and fully enjoy and appreciate them. What about the rhyme scheme of this poem? This poem consists of 14 lines. Each 2 lines have the same rhyme scheme, and the last 2 lines have the same rhyme scheme of the first 2. How's that? The rhyme scheme of this poem is as the following. A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, F, F, A. Now, dear students, it's our OL test. We are going to give you a test of Unit 15 and the model answers for it. Hope you enjoyed your time with us. Stay tuned for the lessons coming up next and stay healthy. Thank you, dear students.